To our next session, and I'm going to reintroduce our enthusiastic eye surgeon, Dr. Mehta, and he's going to talk about discovering the world within for a rich inner living.
Also, if anybody needs any paper for questions, please let me know. I'll provide the paper for you, pen. Thank you.
So, let's take forward our inner journey. Mr. Deepak Mistry has taken us a long way, and my job is how does it work within. I am trying to take you a little deeper. Who is driving us? Answer from everybody. Can you answer for yourself? Who is driving us? Mr. Prabhubai drives us our car, but who is driving us? Mind. What else? Is it only mind? Desires. Anything else? Expectations. Well, so it's not only mind, it is a whole relative inner self in the form of mind, reflective consciousness, intellect and ego. But is it at all? No. It's under the influence of beliefs or visions, my opinions. Further than that, my intents or motives. Do you think that behind each action, behind each relation, behind each moment of our living, there is some intent or motive? Yes? Purpose or goal, Deepak Anandji has already told, and coupled with that, subtle inner weaknesses of anger, pride, greed, deceit, attachment and aversion. So this is what all drives me. This is just to make you aware. Now, a word about inner self functioning. How does my relative inner self really function? It functions like a parliamentary system, maybe US Parliament or Indian Parliament. So, supposing today is Saturday and your mind, once receiving this invitation, might have shown you different thoughts. No, let's go to friend's house. No, the laundry is pending. Let's clean the house. Or some other work is pending. And for any work, the mind does show us the different thoughts. Now my reflective consciousness shows me the pictures. Without ticket, it can go anywhere. I need the ticket of a flight, but the reflective consciousness without ticket goes and shows my house at India. It can go to my friend's house. It can go to mall and everything. And then the intellect decides what is in my benefit and what is not, pros and cons, whether they are in the terms of worldly. Sometimes I calculate, oh, this relation will be useful to me in my business. This will fetch me this much, or I may look towards my inner benefit. And after the majority, whether mind plus intellect or reflective consciousness plus intellect, once the majority is done, the Mr. Ego President has to sign it. And unless the Mr. Ego President signs it, the action doesn't start. Why it is important to understand? Because knowing my inner self machinery, I can make best use of it. And again, there can be forces of weakness, bad habits versus the forces of wisdom or inner strength. So they say that whatever understanding you have, it's beginning based on which you can use your discretionary vision to decide in your relative inner self, and then only it goes into the action. Now mind. What is mind? How can one control mind? There are so many things going on. People go to Himalayas, people go to meditation classes, people resort to so many things trying to tame or control their mind. Can one stop roaming of the mind? So many times we hear the people that no sooner I try to do meditation, my mind starts roaming at all the places which I don't want it to be. So what is the scientific thing really? What is the mind? So the holistic science says that the mind has two parts, gross or discharge mind, or it is said is dravyaman, and the subtle or causal mind, charge mind or bhavaman. Right now what we are talking is about mainly gross or discharge mind or dravyaman. The mind, as I already said, shows us different pamphlets or thoughts from time to time. And if you want to understand your mind, if I want to understand my mind, what should I do? I should keep a graph of week or 15 days or a month, what all types of thoughts are coming. Suppose I come here, 4 friends are sitting in a restaurant, somebody just at the thought of restaurant will have a lot many thoughts of hard drinks, non-veg, gambling and whatnot. And somebody, even if offered, will not have a single thought. What's the difference? Because the complexes or knots which we have got in our mind are different. For whatever complexes I have not brought with me, there will not be a single thought, whereas whichever note is large will show me many thoughts. So this is useful to know what type of mind I'm carrying, because then and then only I can deal best with my mind. Sometimes people have a lot of thoughts of business coming even before they start business. Some people have hardly any thought of business throughout their life. They have just the thoughts of jobs. Now once a professor came to holistic scientists, he was a very brilliant scientist, like more than Dr. Jayant Patel. He said that, can you please stop my mind, because otherwise I'm a very happy person, but my mind is hyperactive and it's bothering me. So the holistic scientist says, I can definitely do that, but you need to have the signature of 5 witnesses before that. Okay, all these my friends can sign it for me. Okay, I'll do that, but then you'll be absent-minded. Will that be alright? Will your wife allow you to stay at your home? So mind is a useful tool. It's not to be stopped or just to be neglected, but we should know how to manage our mind, how to deal with the mind. People try to stop the thoughts. It is so many times it is said that meditation is a state where you should have no thoughts. But how many of us really can achieve that? And why can't we achieve? Because it is unscientific thing. Mind is a physical thing, and it's like a non-ending film going on the screen, one after another. Even in the sleeps, it just keeps on showing us the thoughts. How to manage? I should agree with the thoughts in line with my aim or goal. Whatever I think is in my self-interest, according to my goal, I should say yes. All other thoughts, I should allow them to pass away. I don't care for how many cars are going on the street and how many people are moving. So just allow the other thoughts to pass. Unless I sign it, the mind alone cannot drag me. So mind is not at a fault. Mind just shows you different options. Unless I sign it, mind cannot drag me. What about bad thoughts? If so many bad thoughts are coming and it's sort of frightening me, it's trying to take me downwards, what do? One option, I allow them to pass. It's not enough, it's scary. So I should take the resort to confession, apology and resolution. For whatever bad thoughts which I'm fearing that it can drag me, I can generate the reverse or contradictory force by doing confession, apology or resolution, or ask for inner energy, right? Or I can change the track of the mind with positive inspirational readings or some serene readings, some serene music or something else. So let the mind go away and I keep myself engaged. So that's how. Now some important revelations about mind. Can anybody just tell how much secret we are harboring within ourselves which we are not really wanting to reveal it to others? Whether to our life partner, whether to business partner, whether to government. And it is said that whatever has been kept secret is because of fear and shame. Because I feel either fearful or shameful, and this is my mental baggage. This does keep me bound and bothering. Mistakes once allowed becomes habit. First time your inner conscious may warn you that please don't do this, it's not for us. But once it is done and you sign it, oh, it's all right, it happens. And then it becomes a habit. So take care that the mind is not spoiled. And these biggest corporates and all the MBAs, they know this secret, so they throw you the freebies. This is free, that is free, that is free. So you fall in a trap. Once your mind is habituated, then you are going to go to buy that. How the mind is born? Opinion is the father of mind and language is the mother of mind. So if I want to know my mind, I should know my opinions, what all opinions I'm carrying. So my mind is born out of opinions and languages. If I can take care of the opinions, I can take care of my mind. I'm just purposefully leaving the causal mind or charged mind because that's a little more subtle part. We'll deal it with some other time. Reflective consciousness. Now, if you see, so far people have talked only of one entity, mind. And probably they meant that everything is included in the mind. But for better understanding, it's better to understand at least. I went through several scriptures and other things, except for very light ones, only mind has been described. And there has been reflective consciousness mentioned sparingly. So what does the reflective consciousness does? It does the function of knowing and seeing. And it roams within and without. If there is itching here, it will go here. If there is pain in the tooth, it will go there. Or otherwise, it will keep on wandering outside. It is this reflective consciousness which experiences happiness and unhappiness. So what happens? I'm sitting here trying to study or focus, but my reflective consciousness may be moving outside. And this is what is bothering me. So people say that be there, whatever work you are doing, if you are eating, eat in presence of reflective consciousness. Now for how many of us we can eat or take our dinner or lunch in presence of reflective consciousness? Can somebody tell me? How many of us really eat in presence of reflective consciousness? Very few. Either we are watching TV, we have gone to Iraq, we have gone to Syria, we have gone to India, and the body is eating and we don't know what we are eating. So be there, whatever you are doing, whether eating, reading or doing any work. So much so that holistic scientists said that if you are not eating in presence of your reflective consciousness, you are inviting high blood pressure, heart attacks and other diseases arising out of stress. So, but how can I remain focused in the age of multitasking? On a red light signal also we are sending SMS and receiving and doing this and that. And that's why the people have to come out with the mindful awareness course, that be there, single task. But anyway, and there are a lot many distractions in the present world. Sometimes I feel, oh, what's wrong? For half an hour I saw that, I enjoyed myself and I come back. No, that does leave the impression I have to clean that up. And whatever impurities I'm allowing it to collect from this open world of internet and other things, it becomes distracting for me. So be careful. So if I try to see how my reflective consciousness is being used throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout my lifetime, then I can have the best account that how best I should be getting out of it, whether I'm slipping down or whether I'm moving up by inspirational or spiritual things. The impure reflective consciousness is centered in infinite objects, and that we come to know when we really try to meditate or when we really try to sit silent. We know at how many places it is wandering, whereas the pure reflective consciousness is one which is stabilized in the pure self or returns to the home, but that happens only when I know who am I. So the people say, now there are a lot of yoga classes going on. I'll deal with this in the afternoon session also. But one of the purpose of yoga is to restrain the wandering reflective consciousness, to keep it within. But it is really seeming difficult. Maybe for few minutes, but as soon as I go to work, why this is difficult? Because the reflective consciousness is in search of happiness. And it is like, I give the analogy, suppose a small child has a chocolate in his hand, and I'm persuading you, give me chocolate, I'll give you a better one. Does he give? No. But no sooner I give Kit Kat, he will grab the Kit Kat and leave the chocolate. So this holistic science doesn't ask you to leave anything, but makes you to taste the superior happiness with which your reflective consciousness automatically comes to the home, and it automatically rests with the self. If I can show the reflective consciousness superior happiness, intellect. Today is the world of intellect, and it is the indirect light coming through the medium of ego. So my ego, so is my intellect being used. It shows the profit and loss, it makes one judgmental and emotional. Most of the times the intellect is being used perverted, meaning thereby I'm using for getting more and more money for me, not putting the interest of my consumers or patients ahead. And as Deepak Anandji said, if I can put the interest of my consumers or patients, that let them be happy by me or let me be of some help to them, the rest of the things are going to follow. So righteous intellect can make not only me happy but the world around me also, but at least me. Ego. So I am there, I am name bearer and I am doer. Is the basis of ego. It is the existential state of my being. I know that I am Shailesh. People say that whenever I walk tight, it is ego. No. The very belief that I am Shailesh, I am name bearer, I am ophthalmologist, I am doctor, I am father of someone, I am son of someone, that I, sitting somewhere else, not knowing my real self itself is ego. And Mr. Einstein said that ego is one upon knowledge. Now we have to find out how much knowledge we have, either from our ego or from our knowledge we have to say why the ego has not to go down. But anyway, I'm not here to condemn the ego. The ego will be there as long as my body is there. So now the next is, how do I use my ego? If I use my ego positively, that is to love, share, care, help, smile, I can do wonders. Even the Krishna had the highest form of ego, that no, I want to protect dharma against adharma. Gandhiji also had ego, I want to make my country free. So the ego in its higher forms, higher translated forms, can do best jobs. But when it is a negative ego, when I'm a boss, all must listen to me. So when my ego is used, I'm a husband, my wife must obey me. So the ego used for asserting myself, for criticizing, for finding faults, make me unhappy first and then the others. And there are only 3 sentences. If you want to be happy in the relative world, use your ego positively. If you love unhappiness, use your ego negatively. If you want mix, use your ego mixed way. If you want permanent happiness, if you want to get liberated, aspire for egoless state. Is it possible? Yes, very much possible. Once I know who am I, really, my I sits in my pure self, and even though I'm doing everything and saying that I am, inside I am ego free. So this egoless state is very much possible. All these humans are nothing but different forms of ego. And it is said that there is not a crowd or a population a problem, but it is a crowd of ego which is a problem. And never hurt anyone's ego. If you want to really become successful, one who knows how to manage others' ego in a friendly, loving, caring, sharing way will be a very, very successful people. So I think the holistic science will come out sooner or later with new habits of the people to become successful within and without. Now, as we were saying, that the beliefs, visions and opinions, I'll come to it in the next slide, and there is a push and pull between my present personality and my understanding. Once you go home, you have the new understanding of holistic inner science, but you will be carrying your old personality, and they'll be working too differently. How to do that, I'll tell you in the next things. Beliefs and effects. Beliefs are very basic and pivotal in the life. Beliefs are very basic and pivot of everything in the life. In fact, I can go ahead and say that the whole life is nothing but bundle of beliefs and psychological effects arising out of the beliefs. Because all the perceptions and experiences of mine, within and without, are as per my beliefs. How? We'll see. We have many beliefs about happiness and unhappiness. And if the things are according to my belief, I feel happy. If the things are not according to my belief, I feel unhappy. Let me give you one example. I feel that people should have a simple, easily digestible, home-cooked food. So wherever I'm going in USA, I'm not revealing, but I feel unhappy at the dietary habits of the people. Because it's my belief is different. They are enjoying very much, I am not enjoying. So likewise, we have all different beliefs on all different walks of life. A classical example, Warren Buffett, probably the most richest man in the world, but he lives in an old small house. Whereas our Mukesh Ambani, he built so big a house that the whole world has to take the notice of it. These are just the differences of beliefs I'm talking. So our beliefs of happiness lies in the money, sensual pleasures, object reference, comparison, all what the Pakananji has told you. Whereas the holistic science beliefs for happiness lies in obliging others, rather caring for others, and ultimately knowing who am I. So the beliefs of all the people, folk beliefs, what we say, is different, and belief of holistic scientists is different. And what I am believing ought to be or ought not to be, good or bad, gives me the effects of pleasure or pain. Parents have beliefs about my daughter-in-law should be like this, or my son-in-law should be like this, or even we have the belief that my partner should be like this, and when they are different from them, we really find it hard time to adjust, right? Or to accept, and sometimes throughout the lifetime we may not be able to accept that. But if I'm aware that it is only my belief which is causing the problems, probably I will try to handle my belief. Ownership beliefs. Once a gentleman got a phone who was an old friend that, oh, your house is on fire when you are on vacation, this and this much house. And that gentleman on the phone was laughing, no, I don't care. Oh my God, your house is on fire, you don't care? No, I have already sold it 1 week back. So against the few dollars, the mindness is gone. So all the effects are gone which were associated with my and mindness. And a girl is unknown to me. Once I exchange the ring ceremony, engagement, or my wife, everything changes, possession and everything. But once the divorce occurs, everything again changes back or one passes away. So the idea is be aware about the beliefs. Then what are the correct beliefs and incorrect beliefs? The beliefs which lead me to happy, harmonious, rich, meaningful inner living, and so to say my world around and makes others also happy, or vice versa, are the correct beliefs. And the incorrect beliefs which are bothering me, which are leading me to differences of opinions, disputes, clashes, stresses, and other things are probably my incorrect beliefs. On a relative plane, if you see whole families, societies, nations, they are nothing but conglomerates of beliefs. But still, there is a common thread of humanity. Amongst all diversities, there is a thread of humanity, which is what holistic science is trying to find out, that in the entire world, holistic scientist says, what is that common thread of humanity? We are humans, and as a human, we have the human science, that if I try to oblige others, see, each action of my mind, body, speech, before making others happy, it makes me happy first. If no sooner I try to say you are a nice person, even before I say my face is smiling. No sooner I try to say you are a stupid and bastard, even before I say my face is frowned, I do not like to see my face in a mirror. So the very important aspect is each action of my mind, body and speech, before affecting others, do affect me first. World is my own echo, is not only from outside. I may say, Prabhu Bhai, you are a good person, but he may or may not say me, you are a nice person. But no sooner I say him, you are a good person, the inner echo of my action does give me positive or negative effect. So there is a common thread of humanity, and if this is taken care of, I think no diversity can really lead us to any confusion, but can make us, and ultimately belief about the state of being, which we'll see in a moment. Opinions, Deepak Anandji is already dealt with, but unless I myself started looking at, okay, let me review how many opinions I'm carrying, and you will not believe, for 4 days I had to continuously sit 1 hour and see each and every person I met in my life, I was having some or other opinion. Now if I have opinion Prabhupada is a good person, no sooner Vijay Bhai talks about Prabhupada, he's absent, I start feeling happy. But if I have the opinion that Prabhupada is not a good person, no sooner Prabhupada takes his name, even though he is not present, I start becoming annoyed or start suffering. So opinions, art and science of communication. I would say that in this present world, who has mastered the art of communication well, will become a very successful person. As along one art is adjust everywhere, but this is another important art. Word is the world. It can make or break everything. 2 words of Draupadi, blind son of a blind father, and the whole Mahabharata came up. So, if the words are taken care of, everything worthwhile is taken care of. Of course, I'm not talking about grammar, which I'm poor, but what should be the quality of the speech? It should be non-hurting, especially it should be non-hurting. Not harsh, but soft and sober language. So you may come across a small handout as 9 divine codes of conduct or universal projections for holistic living, and there some codes are listed. Amongst this one is the code. And it should be beneficial. See, why the speech becomes sort of hurting to others? Because I feel I'm right. I must convey the truth to others. How long can I keep myself restrained from not conveying the truth? Yes, you are true, you are right, but only truth is not important, it should be beneficial to others. Whatever I am talking, is it going to benefit to whom I am talking? It should be short or concise. We keep on repeating the same story for the whole day. It should be loved by others. Is our speech loved by others? Usually not. Even if they are showing us the board, please stop, we are not stopping. And it should be truthful. So how the speech is being formed? This is very beautiful revelation, how really the speech is being formed. Because before even I can think to respond, it reacts, and the speech does come out. There's hardly any time for me to decide what to speak. So I should know how the speech is being formed. It is formed by codes. And whatever codes I have brought in my personality, it becomes operational at the time of event or interaction. From that, shorthand and speech comes out. But how the codes are being generated? Suppose I have a code, I must tell the truth up front. So many people have code. I must tell the truth up front. And that the speech, they will have that type of direct hurting speech. I must be strict. All the CEOs and managers, most of them have this code. And that's how their speech is not loved by others. I am right. That implies that you are not right or you are wrong. Again, my speech will not be good or it would be hurting. So the holistic scientists have different codes. They have the codes that let my speech not hurt viewpoint of any person, but let it encompass the viewpoints of one and all, and he always tries to speak positive aspect and not the negative aspect. But now very important question, after hearing so many things from Deepakanandji and from me, as he was asking, what can I do to achieve this? How to change and what to change? Can I readily change behavior or personality traits? How many of you are really able to readily change the personality traits which we are carrying? Can I readily change the fruits or effects? No, I need to change the seeds or causes. So our present personality or mind, speech, body is the result of previous ingrained beliefs or opinions. So it reacts or becomes effectively. People say don't react but give response. Don't react but give response. But how to? So it is a fruit, result or discharge. Science of behavior and new decision. Holistic inner science does not ask for forcible change of behavior. But then what does it ask for? It leads to easy, correct understanding. So Deepakanandji said decision, let me add one more thing. First, correct understanding is required, because then and then only you can make the correct decision. So first step is the correct understanding. So by the correct understanding, my inner opinions, decisions and projections are changed automatically or naturally, and behavior would result in future. So by way of correct understanding, once the inner opinions and decisions or projections are being changed, new causes or seeds are being laid down. And this is also true in sense of karmic bonds, which I am not going into detail. So to summarize that all these holistic science visions which he has talked of, happiness, of obliging nature, each action of mind, my mind, body, speech do affect me first. World is me, world is my own echo. All these understandings change myself from within. So people ask, it is easy to hear, it is easy to believe, but it is not easy to practice. I say it is the most easy to practice. But practice at which level? First, it changes within. It brings the inner change, and then it brings the outer change. So all these visions bring the inner change, and then automatically the outer change will occur. So this is the most easy scientific way. If I have to summarize this much part of the talk, I would say that in the morning, do 2 decisions or projection. Which 2 decisions? Whomsoever you believe or not believe, whether you are atheist or an atheist, resolve that let my mind, body, speech not hurt any living being, but rather let my mind, body, speech make one and all happy. This is resolution first. Second resolution, I want to know who am I, what's my true identity of my real self, and I want to experience that so I can have best of both. That these are the 2 principal projections. Then there are 9 codes given. So you will see in your kit or maybe in the desk, which we'll discuss later on. Decide and project. So based on the correct understanding, we decide and we project. We remain sincere to whatever we have understood, decided or projected. And if required, work harder, pray, leave rest to nature. Don't bother when the change will occur, when the fruits will come. This is your duty. And wherever still there are lapses, I have the rescue of confession, apology and resolution, which we'll deal with in detail in the later sessions. Now coming to who am I? Am I dollars, Yes, in America, I'm dollars. Okay? Am I this big houses? Oh, supposedly I'm also this. But when I say my bungalow, my wife, my money, my speech, my body, my name, then who is I saying is my? When I say this is my wristwatch, the object to which I am saying is my, and the one who is saying is my has to be different, right? Once I watched a very good movie on a TED, T-E-D-D, TED, and the title of the movie was I Am Not the Body Self. I'll tell what it was about. Let me finish this. So even I say my feelings, I never say I am feelings. I say my karmas, I never say I am karmas. I say my ego, I never say I am ego. So whatever I am saying is my, does it have the beginning and end? Everything under the section of my. My feelings comes and goes, my karmas comes and goes, my thoughts comes and goes. So the entire portion of my is ever changing, and it's having the beginning and end. Then if I look within, whoever is knowing that this is changing and this is having beginning and end means temporary, has to be permanent or non-changing. So that's what the holistic scientist says. Even we say I enjoyed and I slept. And when I say I slept, who slept and who knew it? I was sleeping, then who knew it? So the knower has to be there. So doer and knower has to be separate. Separate my and I with Gnani's understanding or holistic inner science understanding. One who knows the knower has known everything. That is to say, true nature of real self. So to say, the real I is always knowing and seeing what is happening in the portion of my. This portion of my is changing, it is perishable, it is exhaustible, it is of the nature of coming and going. I is inexhaustible, imperishable, it's having its own attributes. And the world is the puzzle itself, and there are two viewpoints to solve this puzzle, one relative, the other real. So, circumstances or objects and self, which Deepakanand has already mentioned that there are only two things, and routinely we all say that because of such and such situation, because of such and such person, due to this I am happy or unhappy. But that itself says that I have to yet go ahead, because if it is not the circumstances or situation which is really making me happy or unhappy, it's my vision of looking at the things. So if I can share here my small experience or my inner journey, because I was fortunate to get introduced to this holistic inner science in 1977 as a medical graduate when I was undergoing my medical studies. And from the next day I started experiencing the different bliss within and enlightened wisdom or prajna, as she was asking, that keeps me alerting every now and then. It's self-functional thing, it functions for me and it keeps me in my proper place, and both the things are going hand in hand, my career, my relative living, mind, body, speech-wise living, individually and severally, everything is going, and my awareness of the pure self is also staying with me. So as the birds fly with two wings, as the train run on two parallel tracks, both the relative and real are parallel, balanced and simultaneous. There is no need for external renunciation, there is no need to run away from the house and become a monk, but both has to go parallel and both has to function well, and this is being done through 5 simple guiding visions of precepts. So ultimately, if we want to live mindful living, there are many, but this buzzword is also going around, but only becoming aware doesn't serve the purpose. First, I have to have the correct understanding. Suppose I became angry, and I'm mindful that I became angry, what next? So I should have the resolving correct understanding along with the awareness. I should have the tool to cleanse my mistakes, and my positive experience will reinforce the awareness and reinforce my practice. So that's all about this session. So I hope what Deepakanandji left, I could take you to inside and how this inner science functions, right? Thank you.
So we're going to continue with the question and answer session. We're also going to keep it really brief to 5 minutes, and then we can always take your questions at the end. So make sure to write them down because we don't want to leave you out, and we do want to engage in your questions.
Was it confusing or was it making the things clear? Let me ask you a question. Clear, okay. Please. Please.
No, I have to wait, that's why the microphone is.
Because this is a little subtle inner journey, so I was little apprehensive. Please.
See, when you say that, we have to speak so we don't hurt other people.
Yes.
Okay. What I have experienced is same thing when I say in one group has a different effect, reaction from people, and the same thing in the other group. So is it not on the receiver end also? So how do you know the mind of your audience since you don't know them?
A very good question. The onus or responsibility lies on me. First, I have to be watchful how my speech is affecting the others. It is not their responsibility, it's my responsibility. Second thing, I should try to learn to sit in them and then to talk. It's not that I'm talking to you. When I'm talking to you, I try to feel that I'm within you. And I try to feel as one with you. So try to see, it's even the worldly people say, put yourself into his or her shoes. So unless that context is there, can you address your all relations similar way? You have to be different depending on the subjectivity and the relation. Similarly, depending on the situation, you have to be different. But what is most important is, unless I have the correct codes, most of the time my codes are I'm right. I want to prove I'm right. And that's what is causing the real problems. If I have the different codes, that okay, let me first, the whole situation has one secret. We try to handle the situation outside, but without handling my inner happenings, without resolving and getting clarity within me, I cannot handle the situation outside well. So I have one dictum. There are many management courses going on, management of all types, but one who cannot manage the relative inner self or one who cannot manage the self cannot manage anybody, or vice versa, one who can manage the self-based way, everything others will be managed. So I have to see what is what, and that is my awareness. And then only with proper codes and proper understanding. And then the third key is whenever I'm saying, I'm trying to be bigger than that fellow. So in a sort of advisory tone, I should be smaller than that fellow in a friendly, sharing tone. Then it works. It's not the words which are hurting. It's the ego and the tone behind which is hurting the others, right?
Thank you. You're very right. Thank you.
Please put your hand up if you want to speak, so wait till I give you the mic so everybody can hear. Okay? And if anybody needs a paper or anything, just let us know so we'll provide you that.
Okay, if we have no more questions, is there any? If they come afterwards, we have the session specially for questions, don't worry. And we are available afterwards also, please.
One question, 1 second. Okay, let me come to you.
You kept referring to the word codes. Is that the same codes? Is that the same as beliefs?
The codes get generated as a sum total of beliefs, but codes and beliefs are distinctly different. Yes, beliefs do play a role. As I said, I should be strict, I should be upfront or something. But codes is containing all the things in a given scenario. I put a code. Oh, I should be dealing like this. I should be straight. I should be upfront. I should be strict, or I should be soft and sober, or I should be loving, or I should be calm, or whatever. So if we observe each of us during day in, day out, in each conversation, before the conversation starts, the codes do come up along with the intents. The second most important part is our speech is depending on the intent, which is an integral part of the code. Right now we have the intent of sharing knowledge. So the entire speech is different. And you see me in my clinic and my speech will be different. You see me with my family members, my speech may be different. So codes are little different from beliefs, but yes, beliefs do play a role in codes, but codes are what you can say is something like protocol you have put in for this particular work. So that's your codes, and once you are watchful within, you will come to know what all codes you have put for your sort of communication or personality or whatever it is. Again, they may differ from person to person. Let me tell you, nobody whatever annoyed will speak harshly to policemen or to IRS men. Why? Because the eventuality is known. But against our life partner, even with business partners and even with the business buyers or sellers, we are diplomatic, we are careful, because it will hurt our business interests. But in home, in house, so that's where the codes work, right?
Then Shailesh, we have to be diplomatic everywhere.
No, we are not getting. No. Don't take me wrong. This is not diplomacy. This is my hearty change, my hearty understanding that this is the way to go. This is not diplomacy. This is my hearty, after having understood some part of the holistic inner science, this is my naturality, this is my inner change, that let me be, my speech should be such that it should be non-hurting, it should not hurt anyone's viewpoint, rather it should encompass all the viewpoints, and it should be beneficial in larger interest or in interest of others, not for myself but for the others. So this understanding itself leads to that sort of naturality. It is not diplomacy.
So Shailesh, then how we have to express ourselves in truth?
We will take it in the later afternoon session, okay? So,
One quick, is it okay?
Please.
Okay. I know I cannot function without the positive ego. I know that. So getting egolessness state, I may not be able to ever achieve. That's one. And very quick, reflective consciousness. If you could explain, that will help.
reflective consciousness in simple terms is chitta vritti. And the pure consciousness is there, but this is reflective consciousness, means it is coming through my beliefs, coming through my ego, coming through my intellect, and as per my beliefs I am attaching or finding object referral or circumstantial referral, happiness or unhappiness. So there is a pure consciousness. It's a part of that, but it's outward, coming through the filters, Instagram or filters or glasses. I'm an ophthalmic surgeon, so I love the glasses. So it's coming through different glasses of my beliefs and ego and the state of being. So that's a reflective consciousness, and other is a pure consciousness.
Right.
Okay?
And then
It's, in other words, it's a chitta vritti or chit.
And then I will never achieve egolessness.
We'll talk that in a later
Thank you
session.
so much.
So we break for a small break. 10 minutes small break.
We take a 10-minute short break and please come back.
Go back to the worldly life.